It's just a fanfiction, a story written by me, a writer. This has nothing to do with mention ideal BTS members, real life event, behavior or characteristics. Pics, sound, videos which are used in this video are not mine. Credit goes to rightful owners. But the editing and the storyline is mine. Do not copy it. I have written this story almost 2 years ago, so it's cringy. Thanks for bearing it though. The car ride was silent. Only the sound of the heavy pouring rain could be heard. Through the corner of his eyes, he noticed how she was curled up by the car window while closing her eyes tightly. She cupped her baby bump on one hand while with the other she kept massaging her lower back and thighs. Oh, how he wished just to hold her in his arms and say sweet nothings to her ears. But he restrained himself instead. He was just driving slowly. He had so many questions in his mind, so many queries. He wanted to confront her, demand the answers, but every time he kept quiet. He kept quiet, seeing her hissing in pain, seeing her exhausted face, just like now. He couldn't bring himself to be another cause of her exhaustion. He asked her address and soon they reached Ryan's home. That time the rain was also pouring very less. We have reached. Why, Miss Lee? Thank you, sir. She bowed at him and climbed down the car. He took the car back and U-turned it. He was about to leave the place when he noticed something sparkly on the car seat where she was sitting a while ago. He looked closely and found a pendant. He took it in his hand and climbed down the car. While heading towards her, he was about to call her, but he saw her in arms of another man. He fisted his palms as Rick filled in him. You shouldn't disturb their moment, Taehyung. He hurriedly got in his car and left from there. Before he could do something he would regret his whole life. Oh, Ryan, walk carefully. You were about to fall, said the man who held the woman by her arms. Ryan gave her neighbor an embarrassed smile. Jack, I was in a hurry to go home, that's why. I guess so, but the floor is too much slippery due to rain. Let me help you through your walk. It's okay, I can manage. You were going somewhere? Nonsense. Let me drop you at your doorstep. No, it's okay, Jack. You go. Jack didn't insist anymore. I went from there, saying a small take care. Next day at office. At morning, Taehyung came office despite him not getting an ounce of sleep last night. As the phrase goes, the show must go on. As he walked into the office, he found the floor a bit slippery. He assumed it was because of the floor cleaner. He mentally took note to notify the person who's in charge of cleaning to clean the floor, making it less wet. He was about to enter his cabin after being bowed by the other employees but stopped hearing a loud scream from a familiar voice. With tremendously beating heart, he turned around to look at the source of the screaming. "Please don't be her." His breath got stuck in his throat as he saw Vine sitting on the floor while taking deep breaths. Tears chaosed around her as she fell on the floor due to its being slippery. "Ryan!" He immediately went towards her and held her without thinking about the other people. She was practically shaking back then. My child, Taehyung. Nothing bad gonna happen to you. Somebody help me to get her into the car. Seeing her tears and hearing her painful voice, he didn't want to wait for ambulance and took her to hospital with the help of two other employees. Sitting outside the emergency room, Taehyung was worrying about Vigan. Her panicking voice and the way she wasn't letting go of his hands were still haunting him. "Sir, would you like to have a cup of coffee?" Taehyung looked at the source of the voice and found his employee named Rain, who's also a friend to Vigan. Taehyung shook his head. "You go, Miss Rain." Nodding her head, she was about to go towards the hospital canteen, but stopped seeing the doctor approaching them. Taehyung immediately sat up, seeing the doctor. "How's she, Doc?" Thankfully, there isn't any broken bone, but she sprained her ankle very badly on both legs. Taehyung let out a sigh of relief. "How's the baby?" As she fell on her butt, her pelvis got some damage. She might not deliver the baby via normal labor. Other than that, the baby seemed to be fine. From now on, she should be strictly on full bed rest till delivery. I hope you are understanding. Saying this, he went from there. Thank God, nothing worse happened. Taehyung nodded, hearing her. He then saw her heading towards Vian's room instead of canteen. That time, like a thunderstorm, a realization hit him, making him feel bitter. "Miss Rain, we should inform her family about this. I mean, her boyfriend. But sir, Vian don't have any family." "What do you mean by she's a single mother, sir?" "What?" A whisper of disbelief left his mouth. "I think there's some misunderstanding." "No, sir. She herself told me she's only parent to her unborn." "Did she say anything about her child's father?" It's always a sensitive topic for her, so I didn't ask when she avoided this question. She Without hearing any more words from Rain, he left from there. She stood there confused at her boss's behavior. First, he drove Vian here while panicking. Now this. Does her boss know Vian personally? Taehyung's heart was beating crazily. Fast, too fast. After spending so much time with her, he clearly knew she's not a person who would cheat on someone. Then, then there's only one thing was left. Am I going to? Fayin was resting on the hospital bed when Taehyung entered the room. She expected him there too. She knew today she had to explain a lot of things to him. Taehyung sat on the stool beside her bed. There was a brief moment of silence before he spoke. Yesterday after I drove you, I saw you in arms of someone who I bumped into him due to rainwater. He's Jack, my neighbor. He nodded his head, understanding her words. This is my child, right? Our child? Yours and mine? Vi nodded her head, whereas his eyes became glossy. Our child, yours and mine. Did I ever say that I don't want kids, or I am not ready for kid, or I don't like kids? That you took the step of leaving after knowing about our child? It was never that, Taehyung. A month later, I left you, I came to know that I have conceived. Then why didn't you inform me? Why didn't you inform me I am going to be a father, Vayin? Why? Did you think I would accuse you of cheating after reading your note, or... I didn't. Then did you think I was unworthy of knowing this news? Did you? Never, Taehyung. How can you say this? Then what's the reason, Vayin? What? Because you were losing back-to-back deals because of me. Your focus shifted from your work to me. You were having loss. Taehyung sat there dumbfounded, whereas tears made their way to Vain's eyes. What? I was becoming a hindrance between you and your success, Taehyung. Don't you remember how before I left you kept staying at home as I got fever? That was not the first one. Before that also, you didn't went to work when I got food poisoning. I always get sick a little too often, Taehyung. If you always keep skipping your work because of me, then you will lose everything. You work hard for years now. So you left just saying you felt out of love. How stupid can you be, women? There I kept questioning what went wrong, what I did wrong, and here I got to know I just happened to fall for a stupid person. We are not teenagers, Vayin, that we should cut off relationships from our life just because we have to skip our work for our significant other. Once we become adults, we have to balance it, Vayin. That's the only solution. And the times I took off from work because of you, do you even remember how serious was your condition? You weren't even able to go washroom on your own, Vayin. It's not like I took off from work after seeing a slight fever on you. I have that much sense in me, Vayin. Won't you take a day off or days off if I get terribly sick? Vayan looked away, knowing the answer. I know after your parents' demise you were taking care of yourself alone, but it doesn't mean you would consider yourself a hindrance in your lover's career. You deeply wounded me, Wagon, deeply. You even thought our child would be. I can't even say those words. Her heart hearing his painful voice. I was looking after your success by taking away my family from me. That's definitely a recipe of my destruction, Wagon, nothing else. When we didn't meet, the situation was different. I was happily single. I didn't seek for a partner. But after meeting you, spending time with this situation is whole different. I can't happily focus on work knowing there isn't a person waiting for me at home like before. Vine cried, hearing him, knowing very well the feeling he was describing, as she was feeling the same from the past 6 months. I am sorry, Thay. I don't need your sorry, Vayan. I don't. I want you to marry me right now in this hospital. I have missed 6 months of our pregnancy, Vayan. I don't want to miss more. You don't have any choice, Vayan. You don't. I don't want to have any choice too. Today when I fell, I wanted nothing but to stay in your arms. Taehyung took her hand in his and placed a kiss on it. Don't even consider yourself a hindrance, Vayan. Don't ever. If you again do this stunt, then there would be nothing worse than me, and mind you, our baby would be on my side too. She wouldn't be stupid like you. I hope so too, Taehyung, I hope so too. She brought his hand closer to her lips and kissed on it, being grateful and glad that he forgave her.